and welcome to my studio. I'm Naomi from Pigeon Art, and today we're making summer pajamas. In Australia we are currently going into summer. I have bought a set of sheets which came with a flat sheet, a fitted sheet and pillowcases, but we don't use flat sheets. I personally hate them. They end up all bunched up and I think they're a waste of time. So I have a whole flat sheet here that I can use for sewing projects. It is a queen size one, so it is a fair bit of fabric. I have already ironed it. I think I can get shorts and a button-up pajama top out of it, but also probably a dress or something as well. I need a better solution for my patterns. I will be using the same pattern as I used in this video, which is an old pajama top that was falling apart. So I unpinned it all, that way I can flatten it up nicely and turn it into a pattern. And for the pants, I actually have this pattern, which was a pair of pants that I wore too much and got ripped. So I need to give it an iron, obviously, but it will work very nicely. I will just, instead of going all the way to the full length pants, I will probably go through there or something. Straight into it. So I started working on the shirt first. I thought this would be a good one to start on first because I thought it would be the more complicated project and I wanted to get that over and done with. I say pants the whole way through and I mean shorts. I'm making shorts. Started with the shoulder seam. I use zigzag stitch everywhere to finish the raw edges. I just don't show it throughout the video. So if you see any raw edges that aren't encased in something, they have been finished with the zigzag stitch. And then I worked on the collar. That was just one seam all the way around, and then I turned it inside out, ironed it, and then I top sewed around it. Once I've done the collar and the shoulder seams, I move on to folding down the yoke. This is what encases the collar, and it's on the inside of the shirt. The yoke is attached also to the facing, which then will help to finish off the front panels. Here I'm getting the center of all of my pieces that are going to go together by folding them in half and then putting a pin where the fold is. The bottom piece is already folded because I was cut on the fold, so I didn't need to do that one. Then I do some pulling and tugging to get the collar to cooperate with the other two curved pieces. I must have lost some footage here, but what I did was I sewed that collar down and then top stitched the yoke down, as well as added the sleeves and sewed the side seams. I'm pinning the facing to the front of the shirt. As you can see, I haven't been very careful with how I've cut these pieces, and one's a lot longer than the other. I don't mind because, again, I say this throughout the video, these are pajamas, no one's going to see them. So here's where I'm up to at the end of day one. So a few things to update you on. This is the last Saturday of November and I've only posted one video in November so far, and I just, in my head, I've been constantly thinking I should really get a video done this weekend to get it out, because that way I can have 2 videos out. And I just realized this morning when I was in the shower, that's what I was trying to avoid. That's why I don't have a schedule. So, you know, still working on not putting pressure on myself, reminding myself that it's okay. I'm not getting paid for this. I'm doing it for myself. And I mean, I am sorry if you enjoy my videos and wait for them to come up every week and wonder if they're going to come. But having said that, I follow a lot of YouTubers that don't have a schedule. It's so that they can do bigger projects. They don't work a separate job full-time. I know they are working probably more than full-time hours on their channels, but anyway, all that to say, it's a work in progress, this whole not putting pressure on myself. So what I did instead, I spent the morning working on my puzzle. Anyway, I don't know what time it is. It's probably around lunchtime. I'm going to get started. Secondly, the other thing I wanted to chat about was this that I've already made. I've been thinking about it, and I actually think it doesn't work as a pajama top. And I think what it'll be instead will be, tidy up a bit, a summer dressing gown, or kimono, I suppose would be the other word. So I'm not going to put buttons on it. Instead what I'll do is put some belt loops and make a belt, because I have so much extra fabric, and I'll make a little top. Maybe actually quite possibly very similar to what I'm wearing, without this lace detail here, as a pajama top instead. I have so much fabric, I'm not worried about running out. From now, I'm going to wait to make the belt to see where I can fit it, so I still have as much leftover fabric as possible. So that'll be probably the last thing, because you know, a belt's quite long. So yes, so for now, I'm going to leisurely work on the pants. I already ironed all this, but we're at the stage where it's been that long that it needs another iron. I've done the ironing, the bare minimum. And I can already tell that this is bad fabric to be using as a pattern, just because you can, look, it's too easy to pull. So this line, which should probably be straight, because I've pulled it a little bit, is not straight. So what I'm trying to do is make sure that this seam here is as straight as possible. Here's the issue. This is why I unpicked these pants in the first place. It was just so frayed, and this fabric's so like wispy that I didn't think it would work if I put something behind it and stitched it closed. But anyway, they're still being useful. I used this fabric to make pockets to go into some other pants that didn't have pockets. The other leg I'm using as a pattern for this. So I don't think I'm going to bother with adding seam allowance, because these are huge and they're going to be short, so I folded it up here. So moving on to the shorts, I put one front and one back piece right sides together, and I sew them at the inseam. And I do that to both sides. I then put the crotch together. Here I'm actually very surprised by the shape it's making. Normally it would make a much wider U. It's just very V-like, and it actually does come back to bite me later. I should have cut it then when I realized just how it seemed so wrong there, because you'll see later I have issues with the crotch area on the front. Little bit of a camel toe situation going on, so if I had cut it a little bit more, there was plenty of fabric there, I just needed to cut it a bit more to give myself a bit more room in the front. But I don't, so maybe that's something I'll go back to do later. Then I sew the crotch together for both legs, and then I went and did the side seam. Okay, so I've tried the shorts on. I'm not 100% sure they're gonna fit properly. Normally I would do, yeah, so you can see it. Normally I would do a rolled hem. So fold it once so that the raw edges are encased completely, but I think I'm gonna zigzag stitch the whole way around because I just don't think there's enough fabric. There wasn't it's not a very deep crotch, right? And there wasn't a huge amount of room left. So these are going to be quite low rise if I do too much rolling and all that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What I was just thinking about, I forgot to put pockets in right when we were talking about pockets earlier. I think what I'll do is put pockets into this. I don't think I'm going to put pockets into the pants. My issue with pockets in pants is the weight of my phone tends to pull them down. And I might put one like the breast ones on this top that I'm going to make like this. This doesn't sit correctly. I've been wearing it for quite a while, and if this was thicker, stiffer fabric, it would probably be fine, but it's not, and this bit just sort of, the facing sort of ends up out and not looking good. So my thought is I could use some of the embroidery stitches on my machine, which I never use, and then I'll just do a one stitch down the front, and it will just hopefully add a little bit of interest, some details. I'll finish these shorts and start on this top. I don't think I'm going to get this finished today, maybe tomorrow. So what I was talking about just then I didn't actually mention is the elastic channel. I went through and did, well, as I said, the zigzagging, and then I folded it down once and put it at 3 centimeters because my elastic was 2 centimeters. And then I sewed as close to the zigzag seam as possible. So then it's the slow process of inserting the elastic using a safety pin, and then I use a zigzag stitch to sew the elastic together. I actually decided to put a little tag on the back. I left a gap on the back of the pants to insert the elastic, and seeing as I was closing that up anyway, I decided to put just a little bit of fabric, which I'd folded over and sewed, as a tag so I know which side is the back. So I decided to do a test of the embroidery. I went for this leaf design, which you won't really see when I show you later, just because it is so tone on tone. And I did a test on a scrap piece of fabric. I'm not sure about it, and I don't know if it's the tension that's wrong, but you can see it's buckling up a bit. Maybe, hang on, maybe if I did 2 layers, because there will be 2 layers. Oh, 2 layers is better. Okay, all right. Well, maybe I'll do that one then. I like it, and it's very subtle. It's white thread. I've been using white thread the whole time on a very, very light grey, so it's kind of tone on tone. As you can see, I didn't do a very good job of making sure this was tucked in. I'm gonna start up here, but afterwards I might do that and then just sew it down so it looks all right. All right, let's see how that goes. And the aim will be to keep it at the same sort of distance the whole way down. I don't really know how you're supposed to start and finish these. Are you supposed to do a back stitch? I don't know. All right, I finished the shorts. I finished the top. dressing gown. I took my shirt off thinking I'll get started on that, but I think I'm gonna have the rest of the afternoon off. So I'll see you back here tomorrow and see how we go with this top. Hello! So it's Sunday morning. I've gone for a walk in the high humidity. So yesterday I finished off this pants. It's not boding well for this fabric. Since I ironed it, all I've done is sew them, and look how crinkled it is. It's supposed to be pajamas. Okay, I guess it's both ways, right? It's supposed to be pajamas, so it's going to get crushed up a lot, but it's also supposed to be pajamas, so no one's going to see them. So, and then it's going to be about making this top. This needs ironing again. Like how? How does it need ironing so much? I'm not ironing this again. I've done it enough times. Thank you. Yes, so the best thing about using a sheet is that it's already hemmed for me, and I love that. Okay, I probably don't need any seam allowance for this either because it is a big shirt. I don't think I need the button-up placket out the back. I fit it over my head, no problems. I don't care too much about these being perfect. They're pajamas. No one's going to see them. Hardly anyone's going to see them. The hardest bit of this is finding which side's the correct side. It looks so similar. So I'm going to go sew the arms and the sides together. So I'll do the straight stitch first everywhere, and then I'll change my machine settings to zigzag, and then we'll go back and do all the zigzags. I've tried it on. It's fits, gets over my head fine. So now I just have to find a way to finish off the neckline and the arms. While I'm thinking of it, I'm going to add pockets to this. I think I'll put it just here and to the other thing. So let's do that next. Sewing scissors, where have I put you? I think my phone's about the same size as my hand. Okay, my phone's smaller than my hand, so that should be fine. Just cut in the middle. I'm going to zigzag stitch all the way around here, which I'll do off camera, you don't need to see that. And then I'm going to get the iron out and iron the sides flat like that. Maybe cut the corners out, and then sew them on. This fabric is 100% Egyptian cotton, which is beautiful fabric, but it does get wrinkled very easily. I put the kimono back on to place the pocket, then I top stitched it down using a normal straight stitch. Okay, so this is a bit disappointing. I thought I was done. I was about to get all dressed up and do some reveal shots when I remembered that I need to do the belt and the belt loops for the little kimono type things. You've probably seen this all throughout the video. I made some pillowcases out of satin a couple weeks ago. Bits of satin everywhere. I'm going to do those off camera. I don't think they'd be very interesting to watch. And then we'll go into the reveal. So there's a few things I don't love about it. It's too grey. So I have some ideas on what I can do, so stay tuned. I might do those. As I mentioned earlier, one of the issues I have with it is the camel toe it gives me at the front, which you can probably see just fine there without me pointing it out. Other than that, and the colour, I really like these, and I've been wearing them ever since, and it's been very comfortable. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to give it a like. It really helps me out. I upload some Sundays with art, DIY and sewing videos, and I hope to see you then. Bye!